Hello and welcome to another Techstep webinar. This is the third installment in a series of webinars about mobile technology. And if you haven't already, make sure you catch the other two by visiting our website techstep.io. Today's topic is mobile security. And you're going to hear from Techstep's own experts as well as external speakers. I can promise you it's going to be an interesting 45 minutes. We're going to hear from Techstep's Krister Jensen, who's going to give you advice on how to secure your mobile devices as well as you already do for your company's laptops. We're going to visit the Norwegian National Security Authority, who's going to give us some advice to companies on the current threat situation and how to deal with them, especially from mobile device point of view. And Samsung, our sponsor, is going to tell you how to secure your devices using their software and hardware technology. But first, I'm going to introduce you to Techstep's new Chief Information Security Officer, Espen Knutsen. Welcome to Techstep.
Thank you, Eric.
Espen, you're going to talk about the overall threat picture and why this is so important for companies to address.
That's correct, Eric. An ever-increasing number of organizations are migrating to cloud services, and the COVID-19 pandemic has really accelerated cloud migration strategies. We are moving away from the traditional server rooms, where the organization's own IT department were in complete control, and into highly distributed environments with services from multiple third parties bringing their own infrastructure into the puzzle. There's an emergence of so-called everywhere enterprise, meaning distributed IT infrastructures and workers. There's an expectation and need from an organization's employees to access corporate data everywhere, including from their mobile devices, and we tend to bring our mobile devices everywhere we go. So, what does this mean for the threat landscape? Security attacks targeting mobile devices are increasing, especially in the last 2 years with people working from home. Lack of IT support and control of users' mobile devices. Application vendors have mobile-first strategies and are constantly pushing new apps. With the increased usage of cloud services, increasing number of mobile devices and remote workers, there's a significant higher risk of shadow IT and lack of control. There are many mobile security threats out there that we need to assess in order to help users secure their devices and protect company information. Malware, malicious websites, and ransomware can accomplish the same objectives on mobile phones as on traditional computers, stealing data, encrypting data, and so forth. Phishing is one of the most common attack vectors, and on mobile devices, phishing attacks can be delivered through email, SMS messages, social media platforms, and other applications. There's man-in-the-middle attacks, where an attacker can intercept network communications. And you can have vulnerabilities in the lower levels of the stack that can be targeted through jailbreaking, routing techniques, device, and operating system exploits. The increasing number of mobile devices and expanded usage has dramatically changed the landscape for CISOs. And we need to focus a lot more on mobile devices and mitigating security risks to remain in control. We need to assess the value of the asset that we want to protect against the security needed to protect the asset. do not want to spend the same amount of security on an old and worn out bike as we would spend to protect our new and shiny one. The same applies with information. Information of higher value needs better protection, higher security level. But security should support the business and be a business enabler. So security needs to be usable. If a solution is easy to use, then employees will choose to work securely over choosing not to. Security needs to motivate a positive experience, and this is what a usable product does. Mobile devices pose a risk to organizations, and securing them can be difficult. You need to balance security with ease of use, but also consider individuals' privacy. Most employees use their mobile devices for personal usage, in addition to business. And many even bring their own devices. We need to protect our organization's business information and employees. So securing mobile devices doesn't necessarily mean violating employee privacy, if it's done in a good way. We need to make sure that working from anywhere on any device is just as safe as working from the office and on a corporate-owned laptop. Only trusted users, devices, systems, and apps should be able to access company data. Every CISO should urgently adopt a zero-trust security strategy to protect corporate data and their employees. Involve the users in the process so that they can see the value for the business and that the extra level of security is there to protect all content on their devices, including their private data. Protecting company data is important for the business, and protecting private data is important for the users. We do not want either category to fall into the wrong hands. Keep in mind that the highest levels of security can only be achieved with corresponding highest standards of usability. So, what can we do to protect our mobile workforce and their devices?
Thank you, Espen. That is indeed the right question to ask. And we have the right person to answer that question, Krister Jensen, who's going to talk about how we secure our mobile devices as well as we secure our company laptops.
That's right, Rick. What actions and countermeasures could you take to assist the digital mobility journey, the IT organization and your users to become more secure and effective on your mobile surfaces? How can you build mobility as a trusted and preferred platform? There are a few steps that we in Techstep recommend, which are simple yet challenging to overcome in a complex world of devices and solutions. Our first recommendation is to procure newer generation enterprise mobile devices, which gives you devices that are designed with built-in protection from the chip up and secured from the moment you turn it on. A newer generation device enables you to receive the latest security and operating system updates throughout the device lifecycle. With Samsung, we recommend the use of Knox mobile enrollment tool. The procurement and use of this technology not only make it easy for the users to enroll their devices to the enterprise, but also gives you, as a customer, certainty and traceability of the origin of the device. This is particularly important in the situation that we have in the world today, where we experience delivery challenges and we need to avoid buying devices delivered from uncertain sources, which then again is enrolled to the company networks. We have seen mid to large companies not covering this critical procurement governance by receiving devices from US or Asia with completely other privacy regulations, but also at some level an acceptance for malware and tracing activities on behalf of operators or third-party vendors. Having full control over device shipment is crucial both for businesses and behalf of your employees. Samsung are offering the same concept of secure delivery like Apple for Europe. Techstep fully support the use of Knox mobile enrollment, and in addition, important routines for repair and services handling during the device lifecycle. Referring to our bicycle example mentioned previously, we need the newest tools to better withstand a thief. Newer locks are usually harder to break than older ones. Our second recommendation is to always keep the devices updated to the latest security patch level and operating system version. We see this as a huge challenge today, where users often postpone the updates coming to their devices, leaving known vulnerabilities open and their device more available for exploits. We have identified 4 level updates that needs to be taken into consideration. The first step is to update to the latest available version of the operating system. Today we recommend at least having devices running Android 9 or newer. Second step is to update with the latest patches from Google, keeping the device updated in between the major operating system updates. Google usually releases security patches every month or quarter, which is important to apply as soon as possible after release. Samsung is what we define as state-of-the-art, referring to OS updates, patches, security documentation, support and privacy documentation. This gives customer a better total cost of ownership and in control of the security. Third step is to update the WebView component, which is a browser engine contained within different applications on the mobile devices, often used to display web content within these applications. Updating the WebView component ensures that the alignment of the security between these apps and the operating system is in place. Fourth step is to update other Google built-in and default deployed apps, like for instance Google Chrome, Google Search, Google Play, Google Maps, etc. This is just like maintaining your bike. For instance, you need to top up the air in the tires of your bike, you need to tighten and loose spokes, and put some oil on all the moving parts. All in all, keeping it in good condition to make it a smooth run when you need it. So, how could you keep up with these updates? By introducing enterprise firmware over the air from Samsung, which is also called eFOTA by short, you can make sure to push and install the security and OS updates to your devices automatically without the user's intervention. This enables you to have control of the rollout of important updates to your enterprise mobile devices. In combination with a mobile device management system, Knox mobile enrollment and eFOTA gives you the full remote security patching for the Samsung Android devices. It even gives you the opportunity to postpone the OS rollout if a business critical app is not supporting the latest OS version. All these unique Samsung features are of course securing the device, but also providing the end user with the best privacy and ease of use. A third important recommendation is to enroll the mobile device to a mobile device management solution. With this, you will be able to enforce policies and profiles to the devices and have a complete overview of the enrolled devices in your organization. Using a mobile device management solution gives you the automated governance you need to secure the device 24/7 every day of the year. It's important to configure the right base level of features during implementation, and most importantly, keep the system updated with the best current practices. Not only in regards to software, but also in configurations that are applied to your devices. With a mobile device management solution, you can also integrate with features like conditional access from, for instance, Microsoft, which gives you the possibility to block access to corporate data and apps when the mobile device does not comply with the current security requirements. For example, a device with an outdated operating system or app will be blocked from accessing the corporate data until the operating system or app is updated. Other examples for blocking the access could be if the device is seen in high-risk countries, or have a device that haven't reported back to the mobile device management solution for a period of time. Our fourth recommendation is to add additional layers of security by implementing mobile threat defense, as mobile device management solutions alone are somewhat limited in their security capabilities. Referring to our example with the bike, locking the bike to a bike rack just by putting the locking wire through the wheel does not prevent the bike itself from being stolen. You must lock the bike to the bike rack through the wheel and the frame to make it harder to steal. By having an agent for mobile threat defense running on your mobile device, you can dynamically protect the device from being compromised from security threats like, for instance, phishing or smishing, network attacks, vulnerable apps, bad websites, etc., that all has a negative impact to your organization. Choosing vendors that can integrate with this technology with your mobile device management solution will give you the best of breed solution for protecting your enterprise mobile devices. Now that the society has opened up for travels again, it's even more important. Through the use of this technology, we have had multiple customers that have been notified about malicious apps, man-in-the-middle attacks on unknown Wi-Fi zones, false base stations, or irregular network traffic during large and important conferences they have attended. This shows the importance of having such technology and routines in place, combined with support and balanced notification configuration to the end user. So, with these recommendations in mind, how can we in Techstep help you as a customer with this? In our product offering, we have a product portfolio called Smart Control, where we can assist you to manage and secure your entire mobility ecosystem by combining our long-proven knowledge, expertise, and best-in-class solutions. Within Smart Control, we have our Techstep Managed offering, where we deliver best practice implementation of managed mobility services, which ensures you that our devices are actively managed and performing their optimal best at all times. Our team of certified experts will help identify, anticipate, and resolve problems before they develop into significant issues. Our experts are independent of mobile operating systems, vendors, and operators, having access to the most senior mobility environments in Northern Europe. Techstep often resolves issues in direct dialogue with our vendors, partners, and customers. Within our Smart Control portfolio, we also have a solution called Techstep Secured, which provides organizations with the peace of mind that their mobile devices are protected, solved through implementation and integration of mobile device management and mobile threat defense solutions. We have seen the challenges that customers run into with questions concerning privacy and not to interfere with the user's personal use of the device, etc. We fully respect this and can, through our solutions, balance to comply with the privacy you need, while still actively monitoring and securing the devices through regular follow-ups handled by our team of experts. We often see mid to large customers getting stuck with privacy discussions far out of scope and far from recommended decision makers. Customers' resources are sometimes mixing opportunities, guesses, solutions, and vendors into one large chunk. Techstep will be able to assist in such discussions by putting together our senior specialists with customer unions, HR, IT, business and service managers, and C-level representatives. Through our managed and proactive services within Smart Control, we are committed to challenge and inspire you as our valued customer. These combined offerings ensure that your mobile ecosystem is compliant, secured, and always up to date. To summarize, Techstep has years of experience with our customers, where we deliver implementation, support, and proactive services for both management and security of your mobile fleet of Google, Android, and Apple devices, with a price per device per month.
Thank you, Krister. But I'll take the opportunity to ask, what are the most common challenges that companies experience in this field?
I would say two things actually. One is the complexity that companies see in the different kind of solutions they have, different type of devices and everything. And the other thing is that they often feel that they need more resources to be able to manage this properly.
So complexity in equipment and solutions and lack of resources.
Yep.
Certainly something that Techstep can help with.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Krister. It is, of course, very important to get the overall picture in relation to information security. And we're so lucky to have Håkon Styri from the Norwegian National Security Authority with us today, Senior Advisor. Welcome, Håkon.
Thank you.
I'd like to begin by asking you, what is it right now that we should be most concerned about from a corporate point of view?
Well, I think we should take a few steps back. About 3 years. 3 years ago, I was actually working on scenarios on what would the office of 2030 look like. And due to the pandemics, we've been having lots of working from home. At least one or two of the scenarios I was thinking about 3 years ago it's already a fact. So we've probably moved 10 years ahead in developing a new working situation for offices working from home, working from mobile equipment. You're probably going to continue working from home a lot more. We are continuing to use mobile devices, laptops, mobile phones, tablets for office work. To manage that kind of equipment is somewhat different from managing an internal office network. So we need better security. We need a better culture of taking care of your office equipment when you're having it at home. So that's a new challenge, really. And in terms of what is happening, the last few years we've had quite a lot of ransomware. Ransomware is quite special because it actually is disturbing your business continuity, and it's the impact on the business is quite serious, which means the management or the board of the business need to be aware of how to handle these incidents that can have a great impact on your business.
Have we seen that these are, in any sense, increasing even more in the last, let's say, 12 months or so?
Well, they are adapting and changing because the businesses have been quite good in actually adapting and changing and improving security for these kinds of attacks. So the attackers are changing their approach somewhat. So we need to adapt. We need to actually improve our security. This is no longer a technical matter. The ransomware attack is actually attacking the business continuity, and the board, the business owner, will be impacted It's not the IT department's business, really.
So ransomware is should we say, the most common, most significant threat at this time, and not necessarily industrial espionage, etc.
For the normal business, it's a very important aspect. It depends on what your business is. So you need to have a risk assessment. This is also quite important because, like the Norwegian National Security Authority, we are issuing every 6 months. We have a risk assessment of the general risk in Norway, but that does not address your specific sector, your specific business area. So you need to adapt and actually have a perception and an understanding of your threats to your business. And you have to assess the values you are handling and your vulnerability to different kinds of attacks.
So what are businesses doing? Are they doing the right thing, and what are those?
We have noticed that the awareness of the threats and the awareness of having to improve cybersecurity has improved for the last few years, really. And that's also with the current threats and the current risks in society now. The awareness has increased. We are getting more notifications of breaches and incidents. And that's also very good, because then we have a better view and better understanding of the risk. So,
but you mentioned initially that, of course, we've been going through 2 years of a very unusual, unfamiliar way of working. Everyone is sitting in their own environments, which brings their own threats. But this is normally a laptop, Teams, and a home network. But what about all this when we are not sitting at our desk in the office or at the home office, and we are out and about using iPads or phones of various kinds, and we bring all this information with us? This is going to add another level of concern, perhaps?
Yes, but fortunately it is quite gradual, because in your home you have other family members, you have probably children also using your local network in your home. So you need to have a secure environment even in your home. If you are visiting hotels, you are working in other locations, of course you need to be even more aware of how are you connecting your laptop, pad or mobile to your office network. To have a secure connection from your mobile phone or your laptop to your office environment is important. So it's a stepping up, trying to secure a home network, and then you need to have even a bit more awareness of your equipment. And also the equipment. Today we have on our mobile phones, for instance, you use that for also two-factor authentication. You have an app for your bank transactions. You have different kinds of apps that need to be protected, which means your mobile phone, you need to treat this thing as your wallet. It's expensive to lose it, but it's even more expensive to lose your wallet because of the content. And you need to change your mindset to actually treat your laptop, your tablet, and your mobile phone as if it were your wallet with your credit card and your cash inside it. And this is just changing your mindset and not leaving your equipment in your hotel room while you are eating or whatever. You need to bring it with you and treat it as if it were your wallet.
And is it your opinion that corporations and their employees are actually taking this seriously enough that they understand this? Is it been implemented? What is the common field here?
It's a change of mind and change of mindset. It's changing the culture of the business, and that takes time. And we need to, the business owners, the management need to actually support this change in terms of encouraging and helping the business culture to change, really.
Someone told me that IT security is a large portion IT, of course, but it's possibly more people and human resources.
Human behavior is a very important component of cybersecurity.
We know that they're securing laptops really well. That's been going on for a long time. What about all these other mobile devices? And you mentioned something about don't leave them out of your sight. I suppose that's one thing. But what other good advices can we pass on to the viewers?
Usually for the equipment in a company, you need to have a centralized management to actually control that it's updated regularly and it's access controlled. Your IT department needs to have a management system not only for the equipment inside your office, but also the home equipment that you are using for work, which means that your mobile phone probably needs to be managed centrally from your employer. You need to change your mind a bit about what are you able to do on the work mobile, and probably maybe you need a mobile phone for holidays and for using other things that are leisure time and fun. So you need to separate your office equipment from your leisure and off-time equipment, really.
Very interesting. And you mentioned travel. Obviously, that can be a sensible
Of course,
situation.
when we are traveling, especially in holiday, when you are traveling to different countries, you need to be aware of the threat exposure you have in a different country. And maybe you shouldn't bring your office equipment with you on your holiday for two reasons. One thing, you need some holiday, and the other thing is you shouldn't really have your office equipment with you on holiday, on the beach, on whatever things you are doing in your leisure time, in your free time on the holiday. So probably some people need some contact with the office, but maybe you should have your private phone number as an way of accessing you, and not being able to log into your office from anywhere in the world. Some countries are a bit more vulnerable in terms of the authorities' way of trying to get hold of your private information. So,
any specific examples of countries that one should be a little bit extra aware of?
Well, you have some countries in the Far East, depending on where you are visiting. You need to actually learn something about the policies and the threats and the government in countries you visit.
And can that be accessed through some information from the security authority?
It's our Ministry of Foreign Affairs who actually are publishing these assessments of different countries. So we do have travel advice from the Norwegian government, and that is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs who are publishing this on their websites. Also, when you are planning your holidays, and of course, when you're planning your work travel, you should take care that if something in your luggage is your office equipment, you need to think about the security of your employer, not only your private security on the holiday. So if there are any ways of adding extra security onto your mobile devices, you should do that. And of course, having those managed by your employer so they can actually delete your access immediately if you are losing your mobile phone, it's quite important.
So remote management, as in managed mobile device management, etc.
So, but for companies at present, during the pandemics, people have brought their laptop and sometimes their tabletop PCs from the office to their homes, and then you have to ask, is the updates for software, is that working when the computer is moved out of your usual office environment, from your office network and to your private network? Is the management system still able to have all the software updates going, so you have a current and updated computer working from home?
Yeah, or wherever you work.
Yes.
Because if we are moving to different locations, as you say, we need to be able to apply the most recent operating system updates and security patches, etc., and whatever comes from your employer, whether you are hopefully not on holiday, but at least in your home office, or whether it's your tablet or your mobile phone.
The risk exposure is changing, and that means you have to consider, should we apply some other security controls? Have you updated your tablet, your mobile phone, your laptop? Has the software been updated before accessing or when accessing your company services. And if it's not updated, maybe you should say, nope, you cannot log into your office unless you have updated your firmware or your software. So you can actually do that kind of checking. Check all the software you have, and you can check this published list of vulnerabilities with known exploits. If your software is vulnerable due to that list, you should actually update and upgrade and fix that vulnerability.
Håkon, on a final note, you obviously represent from a Norwegian point of view, but I do know that also that you collaborate with our Scandinavian colleagues. Any particular viewpoints or interesting points that to bring forward from, let's say, our Swedish or Danish friends?
The security authorities or in national cybersecurity centers in Norway and Denmark and Sweden, we have a quite similar society, and the threats against our societies are quite similar. We are neighboring countries with quite similar economies. Looking at the similar published information from either the Danish government or the Swedish government will help you get a broader view of things to protect against. So we are actually not only sharing threat information, but we are also sharing the way of presenting or giving advice. So, and that's applicable for the users too, because we publish, and fortunately the languages are quite similar. The business culture is actually somewhat different in the three countries.
So would your advice then to those who are, let's say, exposed or do business in Sweden and Denmark to tap into this kind of information then?
Oh, yes, do. The websites of the Danish and the Swedish authorities are also publicly online. So because we have such similar languages, you can actually add your knowledge and your understanding of the threats and ways of improving your security by reading advice from different. So we are trying to do the best and giving the best and most relevant advice for our citizens directly, of course, but it's easy accessible.
And right now, the reports that you have read then are mirroring the same type of threat picture as you see in Norway?
We are quite similar in both economy and our geography is quite. We are placed as neighboring countries, so it's relevant. Yes.
Super, Håkon. Thank you so much, and we will move on to our next segment. This brings us to our final installment for today. We're going to hear from our partner Samsung. And Lasse, welcome to Techstep.
Thanks, Ari. Thanks for having me.
It's a real pleasure. Tell us, Lasse, what are we going to talk about?
I'm going to talk about Samsung Knox today and how Samsung Knox can help you secure your devices in your business and protect your business data.
Sounds interesting. Let's hear what Lasse has to say.
As you heard, my name is Lasse Halvorsen and I work as a technical account manager at Samsung. Today I will give you a short introduction on how we at Samsung addresses today's most demanding security challenging facing the mobile workforce, working with partners like Techstep. Security is at the heart of how we design, build and maintain our products. But as we just saw on the video, security measures can come at expense of user friendliness. And how can we ensure that users stay both productive and protected? In the coming 10 minutes, I will try to explain and offer a couple of suggestions on how this balance can be achieved on your Samsung device. As explained by Espen, we have moved towards a situation where smartphones are a choice target for attackers. Back in 2013, we developed Samsung Knox. We wanted to find a way to strengthen the mobile experience for our customers, particularly businesses, and created a defense-grade security platform designed to offer the most secure mobile experience as possible. Samsung Knox evolved into a holistic, multi-layered platform that protects data at every single layer of the mobile experience, from chipset to the operating system and applications. The result is true end-to-end protection that lasts throughout the device's lifecycle. Samsung Knox has made sure to become renowned for its security. Every year, Gartner releases a report called Mobile OSs and Device Security, a comparison of platforms. For the past several years, Samsung Knox with Android has received the highest device rating, proving that our aim for building the most secure mobile platform has been successful. The Knox platform can be separated into two main categories: hardware and operating system security, ready out of the box for all users of Samsung devices. Our portfolio of Knox cloud solutions allows businesses to configure, customize, and deploy and manage their devices to meet various and specific needs. Android and Samsung Knox together provide enhanced and unique value-added security capabilities on Samsung devices. As I mentioned at the previous slide, our security starts already on the hardware level. All data are encrypted, both data at rest and data in transit. And also, the IT can separate their critical business data from the personal data on the phone so that they can be assured that the business data is safe and encrypted. I also want to highlight that our Knox runtime protection helps keep your data safe with a series of secure boot time protection processes. After booting, various runtime protections continue to monitor the device. IT admins do not have to manage any specific settings regarding these processes. These features are built into the device and the hardware and the software in the factory. Here's how two platforms work together from an architecture perspective. Samsung manufactures the most popular smartphones and tablets on the market with security built from the chip up. Android Enterprise provides the core security and management features for different use cases on the OS platform level. Also, Managed Google Play allows IT admins to centrally distribute and manage work apps which are constantly monitored and protected by Google Play Protect. The Knox platform for Enterprise offers advanced security and management features on top of Android Enterprise to meet more sophisticated security and management requirements. Knox also offers cloud-based device management services for IT admins to more efficiently secure, deploy, and manage Samsung devices. Here is a short story. So a new employee starts. Historically, the IT has provided the user a new phone and the person had to set it up all by themselves. After this, the IT or an PDF will explain them on how to set up the email or relevant apps and so on. This means that the IT doesn't have control over the phone and are wasting up time on setting up the phone. With Samsung Knox mobile enrollment and an MDM solutions, IT can provide the new employee with the new phone, and the only thing they have to do is to turn it on. With the mobile enrollment that provides the user his work profile with the necessary application, email, and necessary policies. This means the IT has saved time on how to set up the new phone and can be sure that the company data is separated and secured. OS updates. How many people can say that they have control over the OS version on their employees' phones? Usually, we are good at updating our PCs, but we seem to forget the phone that are used both personal and work 24/7. Security constantly needs to be improved and updated. The security level of today will not be good enough tomorrow, and we therefore provide regular updates. Samsung now provides regular security patches for 5 years on the most models and up to 4 large OS updates depending on the model. One of the most important and easy way to keep devices safe is to accept the updates. But the OS updates can be difficult. It is not user-friendly, and users don't understand the importance of updating. Should I accept or should I not? IT leaders do know what version your employees are on. It takes time and can disturb work. How can an IT admin make sure all devices are updated and safe? ePhoto provides mandatory firmware updates and are updated silently without user interaction. If your company is using custom apps, ePhoto will give the IT flexibility to test the new OS before deployment. They can then push the update according to the best timing for the business. Techstep are experts on this. Please reach out to them if you want to learn more about how Samsung can help secure your business. Thanks.
And that concludes today's webinar. We've heard from National Security Authority, Samsung, and our own experts, Krister, Jensen and Espen Knutsen. We've learned more about this threat picture out there and how companies must address this in terms of their mobile devices and how they can secure them. Hopefully, you've learned something along the way. Remember, you can like and share this webinar with your colleagues. Just go to techstep.io and share the link. And with that, I'd like to make a final thank you to all our contributors and to our sponsors Samsung. Thank you for today, and to you, thank you for watching.
You